This is Robert Demers for Conman here at the Montreal Comiccon, and I'm here with Kaare Andrews, the writer and artist of Iron Fist, the Living Weapon. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. Good con, lots of people, lots of fun, lots of signatures, lots of sketches, lots of excitement.
So it's been treating you well?
It's been treating me well, yeah. No kung fu throwdowns yet. No one has tried to physically assault me, so far so good.
What was it about comic books that made you want to create your own?
Well, when you love something so much, you kind of just want to do it, or become more involved in it. So I just grew up loving comic books, and I grew up loving to draw, loving to write, tell stories. So, it just was very natural for me to end up doing comic books and movies too. It's like kind of the things I loved are the things I wanted to do professionally.
So you both draw and write Iron Fist, and plus throwing in your filmmaking career into the mix. How do you juggle everything?
A lot of juggling. I'm a bit of a workaholic. A lot of late nights. But when you love something, it's like I never feel like I'm working. I feel like I never work a day in my life. Every day is just like me doing fun stuff, to my family, my wife's chagrin. She thinks I work a lot, but try to make time for the family too sometimes. But it's just when you love something enough, it never feels like work, so you just are always doing it, and it's fun.
So what is it like to write a issue of Iron Fist?
Well, Iron Fist is a really cool character because he's so unique. He has such a particular origin, perhaps the darkest origin of any superhero ever in the world. He, at 9 years old, was taken to the Himalayas with his father, who was thrown off a cliff by his business partner, who then tried to come on to his mom right then and there. She refuses him. He leaves them to die in the Himalayas. She gets eaten by wolves in front of his eyes, and he is taken in by these Shaolin-style monks, Kunlun monks, but Shangri-La type monks, who train him for 10 years not to become a better person, not to fight crime, not to save the world, heal the planet, but to kill one normal man. He becomes a martial arts superhero imbued with the chi of a dragon in order to kill one normal person back on Earth. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. That's very unique. And so that's what I was attracted to, that crazy origin story that people kind of gloss over a lot, but it was so amazing and so unique. It's like I love kung fu, I love martial arts, I love action, and this amazing backstory. Lots of fun.
How do you exactly get the positions right for the martial arts in the book?
Well, I am a huge martial arts fan. I've done a little bit of training myself, a little bit of karate, a little bit of taekwondo, a little bit of pankration. Very little, more of a fan than a practitioner. But I still, to this day, I watch a lot of MMA, I watch a lot of action movies, I'm a big fan of old martial arts, new martial arts, like the movies, older stars, newer stars. And then I also am looking at more specifically kung fu for the book, because there are some idiosyncrasies about kung fu that's a little different than some other martial arts. But also, he was trained in a mystical land, so I think the kind of kung fu Danny learned is that style is unknown to, it's a different thing. So I give myself a lot of permission to just freeform stuff. And then I do try to also draw some traditional forms and stances and some traditional knowledge.
We have a little break between issues 6 and 7. Can you tell us of what we can look forward to in the upcoming issues?
Yeah, so the break between issue 6 and 7 is to release the trade of the first 6 issues, so that allows the readers to get caught up. And then really the first 6 issues is Danny's journey into the depths of hell, basically. And the next 6 issues will be his way out. So the first arc is called Rage, and the second arc is called Redemption. So it's very much like him fighting to both find himself. He's got to deal with a lot of his past in the next 6 issues, and confront the man that sent him to the depths of despair and destroyed both his family and his newer family of Kunlun. So it's really like a superhero who's got to just climb his way up. And my favorite martial arts stories are always like one man versus another man versus 100 men versus 1,000 men. So that's what this story is, like a true martial arts superhero story.
Netflix is going to be releasing a series about Iron Fist to go with the other Marvel Knights-ish types heroes. What would you like to see most out from that series?
Well, I think, to be honest, I think the most interesting, there's two things that I think will be the most interesting of that series. One will be casting. Like, who is that guy that can do these things, you know? We're kind of like, that generation of actors that can really do martial arts has been thinned out over the years. There's not a lot of guys that can do that stuff. So I'm very curious to see who will wear the mask, who will hold the iron in his fists. Very excited to see like what that guy will be, who, you know, if he can really do his own stuff. I think he should. I think it's very important. And then the other part that I don't know is like, you know, how is the Netflix series going to handle the Kunlun part, which I think is so interesting and so unique. And I think it would be a perfect backdrop for a Netflix series, like, you know, that part of it. So I'm very curious to see those two things: the actor who's going to do it, what kind of training he has, and how they're going to treat Kunlun.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, and enjoy the rest of your time here at the Montreal Comiccon.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure. And pick up Iron Fist. First trade's out on sale in November, and we go from there to issue 12. 12 issues of Iron Fist action.